Well, welcome back to Everyday Iowa. There's several factors to think about when choosing a physical therapist. We have Andy Bishop here from Ability Physical Therapy to answer some of those questions. Welcome.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, I think, just the fact that we're there in the communities, the small communities of Eastern Iowa, to help people out with their problems, with their physical health. We want to be someone that people feel comfortable with coming in to talking to us about that.
Well, that kind of makes me wonder, what should you think about when you're choosing a physical therapist? What are some of the factors you should think about?
Yeah, so when you have those issues with either you're feeling weakness in your body or lack of mobility, you want to go to a physical therapist who is an expert in, prescribing exercise to address those weaknesses. Or if you have pain, chronic pain, more recent started pain, you want to have someone that's able to help you diagnose the problem, give you treatment to help get rid of the pain.
Yeah, not just mask the pain. I feel like a lot of times we always try to just put a Band-Aid on the pain instead of actually treating the pain and making the pain either not necessarily go away, but make it so it's livable for somebody, especially if it's chronic pain.
And get to the source of what's actually causing it. Yep.
And you spend a lot more time with, which that's the whole point of physical therapy. You spend, 40 minutes to an hour with the patient, whereas a doctor is in and out, which that's the nature of their job. So you kind of get more in depth with, what's going on with the patient. And
yes, and that's important. Everyone has a story, and your story is going to look different today than it did 5 to 10 years ago, and what it's going to look like 5 to 10 years in the future. So at Ability Physical Therapy, we make sure that we schedule a whole hour for people's first appointments and up to 45 minutes for their follow-up appointments, where they can really sit down, tell us what's going on, and we can diagnose the problem, give them homework to work on exercises at home, which is important. You got to do your homework.
I know, do your homework,
So yeah.
I can testify to that one. Do your homework. So walk us through a general, because people might be nervous about coming to a physical therapist. Walk us through an appointment.
Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be an hour, your first visit. You're going to have some paperwork at the beginning.
Of course,
but then, you meet your physical therapist. Any physical therapist with Ability is going to be able to sit down and listen to your story. People want to be heard, and really a patient will tell you exactly what they need if you sit and listen to them. So we're going to, get a diagnosis going. If the physician already gave a diagnosis, we'll tell you what that means and get an anatomy model out and say like, hey, this is what the doctor meant when he said this or she said this. And people really appreciate that education. They have to know why things are happening, and then we can tell them how things are going to get better. And we give you a treatment within that first hour with your first visit, and then let you know how many more visits you're going to have to come to subsequently after that.
Now, a lot of people go to physical therapy when they have an injury. Do you also do preventative? Like they want somebody to come just to kind of, prevent injuries as you get older? Yes,
that's the key, is that how can we, I tell people it's easier to blow out a candle than put out a forest fire. So if people can hear ideas of, hey, your ankle might hurt and feel weak now, but 5 years from now, if you keep running at the intensity you are, you're going to have a lot more pain, like going up your leg and in your back. And so we help people kind of forecast that and avoid the big flare-ups as well.
Yeah, that is nice, because once it flares up, it's harder to kind of get back to normal or get back to a spot where you can, kind of live, let's say live a normal life, but not have pain every day. So it's preventative is great.
Yeah, when people learn what we can be there for them to do, they don't let the problems get to the point of where they're less manageable.
So in addition to Ability Physical Therapy, you also have the Elite Fitness. Now, what do those two offer that a lot of places don't offer?
Yes, so all of our locations have a gym, Elite Fitness, associated with it. And what we like to see with that is a crossover, that synergy of when someone comes in for a physical therapy visit and we help them reach their goals, and then they're kind of like, so what do I do for self-management? Where do I go from here? And sometimes they have their own ideas, like a place they want to go to keep strengthening. Sometimes they don't. And so we can point them right to our personal trainers and other staff that can help them continue down on that path of wellness.
Okay. If somebody wants to contact you or set up an appointment, how do they go about that?
So you can go to our website. It's chooseabilitypt.com. And yeah, you're going to see on that website all of our locations. We have Solon, Mount Vernon, Marion, Cedar Rapids, and center point.
Okay, so you have several locations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So hit their website up, and you can also answer insurance questions for them, because I know that's a big question for people.
Absolutely.
So give them a call. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Very much, Grace.
All right, so coming up, we're going to be sitting down, well, Justin will be sitting down with Travel Iowa. You're watching Everyday Iowa here on KCRG TV 9.